Good morning, LaDawn, and a pleasant good morning to you, Bahamas. Your Wednesday traffic report comes to you live from right here on West Bay Street. We are near Saunders Beach, where traffic is definitely building up at that roundabout behind me. It's definitely on and off, with it being a popular route to work for many persons in the Western New Providence area. We can tell you your commute is going to be a little bit easier today, as roadworks near the Arawak Key area has been completed finally. However, we want you to watch out for ongoing works at the point. Now, switching gears and turning more to the ins and outs of traffic today, joining us is Corporal Charles Roll from the Royal Bahamas Traffic Unit. Thank you so much for joining us today. So can you tell us about the developments overnight in terms of those traffic accidents or incidents that may have occurred?
Yes. Good morning, Antoinette. Good morning, Bahamas. Over the past 24 hours, we have experienced a total of 15 accidents, 11 of which just include damage only. Three of those matters include injuries, all minor natures, nothing of life-threatening, and one accident involving hit and run.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier. It's been a busy weekend, and leading into a busy week for you guys in terms of the increasing number of traffic accidents. What is the data suggesting is the cause?
Based on recent events, we looked at the records that were recorded, and most accidents over the 2 or 3 month span were increased as a result of persons not paying attention at work. Also, basic distractions like music, cell phone devices while operating a motor vehicle along those lines.
You said when we were speaking earlier that you're also seeing an increase in those hit and run accidents. They're becoming very popular over the past few months. Is there any reason why this is? And this comes at a huge fine for persons who may commit the offense and get caught. So, what is your warning to them?
In regard to those hit and run matters, we suspect that those persons are not licensed drivers, as well as they may borrow a vehicle and not be covered by the insurance. So those are the reasons why the increase in hit and run matters. That fine, particularly for borrowing a vehicle, driving a vehicle without insurance, carries a fine of $250. The driver will be held liable, and also the person permitting the driver to drive the vehicle will be held liable to that fine as well.
Especially now that the country is back open, it's slowly opening back up again. There have been a lot of persons eager to, as we say, touch the road, and that causes them to throw caution to the wind in many circumstances. So, for you as a traffic officer, what are you seeing happening out there?
We know that persons are confined over the last couple of months and they want to get out and experience life, but we also ask that they do so responsibly. We're now seeing an increase in those persons who tend to run the red light and disobey the traffic signs, stop signs, and also just minor infractions that may lead to a serious accident. So we ask them to be aware of that, to be mindful of word uses, and to be considerate while driving through the streets of Nassau.
So the time, we talked about this earlier. We talked about the time being an issue in terms of the occurrence of those accidents. You said more in the midday area or towards the night is when those accidents may be occurring. So for those drivers who are, I guess, throwing caution to the wind at that time, what what do police have to say to them?
We would advise persons who tend to push it near to the curfew time to leave their place of destination, intended destination, ahead of time, so that there will be no error in judgment while traversing about the streets, and they don't have to rush. They can take their time to arrive to the destination safely.
So, in order to combat this, obviously the Royal Bahamas Police Force has stepped up. They've beefed up security on the streets in terms of foot traffic officers, in terms of checkpoints and all of that stuff. What are the most common fines that people are getting out there, and how do I avoid getting those fines? Because no one wants to pay a ticket.
The most common fines that we find out there are persons, like I say, running the red light. Also, no seatbelt, persons using their cell phone devices, basically not paying attention, and there's minor infractions as it relates to their vehicle. So, if persons want to avoid being fined and having to come up with that funds, they should just do the right thing. And you know you're not supposed to be on your phone, don't do it.
So this weekend will be an extremely busy one for many who want to get out on the road. What do you have to say to them, really?
They can go out and just be responsible if you're gonna partake in partying of a designated driver. Also, to just exercise caution while traversing. Never too late to be the event. So if you're already late, just take your time and get done.
All right, well, that's it for your morning traffic report here. We want to remind you to stay safe and definitely drive the speed limit if you're traveling to work right now. That's it for now. LaDon, we're going to toss it back to you in the studio.